A flamboyant billionaire, a luxury airline with red carpets, gourmet meals, and models as flight attendants. And yet, it crashed harder than any airline in Indian history. In 2005, Kingfisher Airlines entered India's aviation market like a Bollywood blockbuster. It wasn't just another airline, it was a lifestyle. And at the center of it all stood Vijay Mallya, India's self proclaimed king of good times. But within just 7 years, Kingfisher Airlines went from first class dominance to being grounded, bankrupt, and making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Employees were left unpaid, aircrafts were seized, and Malia, he vanished into an exile with 9,000 crore rupees in unpaid loans. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Business Playbook. So, today we are going to dive deep into the story of Kingfisher Airlines. What really happened? And this story isn't just a story about one man or one airline. This is a case study of how unchecked ambition, poor decisions, and broken system can destroy even the most glamorous empires of the world. Before the fall came the glittering rise. Kingfisher Airlines was launched in May 2005 by the UB Group, the same company behind Kingfisher Beer. It entered the skies promising something no other Indian airline offered: luxury. We are talking about leather seats, personal in flight entertainment, gourmet meals, and even models as flight attendants. The tagline: Fly the Good Times. In its first year, Kingfisher wasn't just a hit, it was a sensation. And within 2 years, it covered or controlled 20% of the Indian aviation market. But there was a catch. All this luxury came at a cost, and that cost would soon come crashing down. So, why did such a promising airline spiral so fast? The answer lies in a mix of overconfidence and terrible timing. In 2007, Kingfisher made a bold move. It acquired Air Deccan, India's first low cost carrier. The goal? Rapid expansion. Malia wanted to compete with global giants, but this decision broke the airline's identity. Suddenly, Kingfisher was running two conflicting models: luxury and budget. It confused customers, overextended staff, and doubled the operation chaos. And then the 2008 global financial crisis hit. Fuel prices surged, demand dropped, and credit dried up. Kingfisher was burning cash faster than it could earn. And by 2011, it was defaulting on payments, grounding aircrafts, and begging banks for relief. But who was behind these high stake decisions? Vijay Mallya wasn't just an airline founder, he was a flamboyant tycoon, known for his lavish parties, F1 teams, IPL franchises, and lifestyles that made headlines as often as his businesses. But Malya's empire was built on loans. Between 2004 and 2012, he borrowed over 9,000 crore rupees from 17 banks. Many of these were unsecured loans. Kingfisher never turned a profit. It posted around 1,000 crore rupees losses annually because the airline had no clear path to break even. And still, banks kept lending. Why? Because Malya's reputation and political connection made him too big to fall, until one day eventually he did. So, why did this entire system allow the fall to happen in slow motion? The unraveling began quietly. Pilots were on strike over unpaid salaries. Airports refused to refuel the Kingfisher jets due to unpaid dues. Lessors started reprocessing planes. In 2012, DGCA, India's aviation regulator, officially suspended Kingfisher's flying license. Public outrage exploded. How could one man borrow thousands of crore and not pay back a rupee? How were these loans approved without collateral? The CBI launched investigations. Mallya was summoned to court. But in 2016, he quietly flew to London, just days before Indian authorities could seize his passport. So, what finally brought the curtain down on Kingfisher Airlines? By November 2012, Kingfisher Airlines was effectively dead. Employees hasn't been paid in months. Operations ceased and the brand was delisted. Mallya, meanwhile, became a symbol of India's bad loan crisis. As of 2024, he remains in the UK fighting extradition while Indian banks continue to pursue recovery. Kingfisher House, the airline's lavish Mumbai headquarters, was auctioned off for just a fraction of the loans owed. The airline that started with champagne in the sky, ended with court summons and death. Kingfisher's failure isn't just a business failure. It's a lesson about what happens when ambition outpaces accountability. And here's what we all must learn. First, visibility cannot be compared with viability. A flashy brand means nothing without stable and sustainable economics. Second, extension is not a strategy. Kingfisher extended without building financial resilience. And third, one man's ego can sink a whole empire. In this case, Mallya prioritizing image over execution is the core cause for the failure. And the fourth, systems must work. The banks, regulators, and the boardrooms that enable the fall were all equally culpable. Kingfisher's fall isn't just a thunderstorm, it was a slow motion collapse, visible to everyone yet stopped by no one. For everyone watching, the lesson from this case study is if you are chasing big dreams, build strong fundamentals. So, if you found this case study insightful, hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to the Business Playbook for more deep dives into the world's biggest companies. I will see you in the next video next week.